said that he will return to Vietnam in June. In June.
June, of course. Well, so you have time. Okay, very good. So, my dear Min, it's really good to see you again. That's perfect. It's like, yeah, it's a long time.
And I miss you.
Oh, me too. Really, I wanted to start again because I normally don't have this like this much free time. It's like 5 days or that was too much. It was like really I have too many days. But unfortunately, I've caught cold, so now it's not really good. Well, okay, so let's get started.
Did you celebrate the New Year with
Course,
your relatives?
yes. Of course, yes. We celebrated, and as you can see, I have a result that is like, I have a cold because we went out and we had actually, sometimes outdoor, and it was like, a bit cold. So unfortunately, I could, but that was perfect. Yeah, that was really good time with friends and family. It was really good time, and of course, let me ask you about your New Year resolution. So tell me if you have now, if you have it.
Yes. Maybe after my daughter go to the US, I will write out my revolution.
Oh, you what? I'm sorry.
Maybe
Resolution. So
when
after, of course, not
after
now. So
my daughter.
yeah, of course. So after leaving your daughter, so you will decide about your resolutions. So what you're gonna do. So you haven't thought about
Yes,
it. Okay,
yes,
got it.
because now I save all my time for her.
You did the best, of course. It's limited time, so why not? So you did the best. Well, okay, my dear man. So if you're ready, let me ask you my first question. So let me ask you about loneliness. So what do you think about loneliness? Good, bad, sometimes good, never.
It has the both sides, good and bad.
Yeah.
Uh, Firstly, I want to talk about the good side. If I state loneliness, I want to, I can do what I want. I can live for myself. Yes, and I like that time. Yeah. I think much, and I find some solution for when I'm loneliness. I don't think it's right or not, but I think so. And the best side, if I have a long time in loneliness,
Yeah.
um, my I think it's not good for myself.
Yeah.
When I lack of conversation with others, and some skill, uh, I cannot improve the skill. Um, yes, and I feel sad, and I feel sad, and yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, actually, I do agree with you. So, as you said, it can have you know, some positive and negative sides. So of course, it could be good or it can be maybe bad. Like, so as you said, it's really good because it helps you to recharge, especially mentally. So let me share the screen. So it allows you, to recharge, like, you know, to be alone. And actually, it's really good for your personal growth. So what is that? You sometimes you feel like that I want to be alone and I want to think about my life. I want to think about my goals. I want to think about, I don't know, my important. So that leads, it's like a self-discovery. So it leads a self-discovery and personal growth. But at the same time, as you mentioned, it's not really good because it's like, you know, it's a kind of isolation. You keep yourself to yourself, you don't communicate. So maybe it's, I don't know, like, you know, it's like emotionally is not really good. So, but the only point that I need to mention when you were talking about loneliness is noun. Alone or lonely is adjective. So alone. So when I'm alone, so if you want to use, you need to say alone, but we know you can't say when I am loneliness. Loneliness, the process of being alone, the state of being alone. So this one, alone. So of course it can be, I don't know, mentally or maybe physically sometimes it's not really good. So let me ask you about creativity. Do you think loneliness it's good for your, I don't know, like creativity? It can help to, I don't know, develop your abilities, your skills.
Mm, you said that loneliness is my ability.
No, I'm asking if it's good for creativity or no. To actually, if it helps to improve, to develop your skills and abilities, or no, you think no?
Yes, I think it's have help me in creativity.
So of course it can help. Yeah,
It
of
can
course
help.
it can improve. Of course it can improve. It can develop. Yeah, it allows you to improve and to develop your creativity, to be more creative, to be more active maybe. But we have actually wanted and unwanted loneliness. You know, they are different. So, what do you think about this one? Wanted or unwanted? Sometimes I feel like that I don't want to talk to anyone. I want to be alone. I want to be alone. Sometimes I have to because, you know, I have no one to be with. So, what do you think about this too?
Yes, I also sometimes I want to be alone. Um, but if it's long time in loneliness, I think it has some negative effect, negative side. Yes.
Yeah, of
So
course.
maybe well, yeah, we're alone, alone. I'm alone in the short times. It's okay.
Of course. So,
You,
you
yeah,
say unwanted loneliness can negatively impact your life, maybe your mental health, your physical health.
yes,
So, like, you know, it leads, I don't know, to, yeah, like, you know, feelings of like sadness, depression, isolation. So, well, and now let me Okay. The next one. So let me ask you this question. So, do you enjoy relaxing alone or with friends? Which one is
Sometimes
better?
I enjoy relaxing alone. I like to enjoy relaxing alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like relaxing alone, then relaxing with my friends.
Yeah. So, me too. And that this one actually is really good question. Are you afraid of loneliness? So that is a really good question because there are lots of people all around the world. So most of people, like they're afraid of especially in future. So when we think about retirement, I don't know, like, and sometimes people stay in maybe some toxic relationship just because of this fear. They're afraid of loneliness, so they prefer to stay in a toxic relationship. I don't know, a toxic marriage, or I don't know, like relationship. So what do you think about this?
Mm, toxic relationship
Toxic,
is
of course.
yeah is not good for everyone. Um, we have to uh, escape that situation as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, we need to escape, of course.
yes. Um, and if I have a toxic relationship with someone, I think I I I I rather choose loneliness than to have a
Very
relationship, but it's toxic.
perfect, of course, very good. So yeah, you would rather being alone than being with someone and being in a toxic relationship. And I do agree with you. And tell me, when you feel lonely, what do you do to escape of this feeling?
Mm,
Do you talk to someone? Just
yes.
listen to music? So what?
When I feel lonely,
Yeah.
I do my housework. Um, I find something to do, or I talk to my friends, or talk to my mom,
Oh,
or my husband. Yes. I share from my feelings with others. I think they will have me. And I have a lot of friends, and many people to help me um, help me away from loneliness.
yeah,
But I rarely feel that lonely.
that's perfect.
Yes, yes,
Because you have good people around you. It's like because of
yes.
the people around you. Yeah, that's really good. So to get rid of this, so get rid of this feeling. It's like you can do different things. You can talk to people, and having people around you that you can talk to is really good, important. So you don't feel alone. So that's really good.
Yes.
Well, the first one, meaningful, meaningless. So what is meaningful? Really, what is meaningful connection? So having meaningful connections can help you feel better about yourself and fight loneliness. So what do you think about this? What is the meaning of, first of all, when something is meaningful, it has purpose, it has value. So something that is deep. But what is, for example, we can have a meaningful conversation. We can have a meaningful life. On the other hand, or at the opposite side, we can have a meaningless life. And so tell me, let me ask you, tell me about a meaningful gift. So for you, what is a meaningful gift? So it's about money, it's about price, or no?
No, meaningful gifts is the presence of my husband and or my daughters. Um, and yeah, mm, she maybe my daughter will turn back to Vietnam is my Christmas meaningful gift.
Yeah, of
Yes,
course.
and
From heart to heart.
yeah.
Grace. Well, so
For the my husband will go home for at the weekend. Is the meaningful gift?
it gives you some meaningful gifts, so that's good for you. You're lucky.
Yeah,
Really
I
good.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and what is a meaningful life in your opinion? What is a meaningful life in your opinion, Min?
Mm. Um, meaningful life um, is I don't care much about money in my life. I have my beloved persons around me,
Beloved,
mm,
of course.
and
Beloved.
I have enough to share with others,
Yeah,
and I can do meaningful things for others around me.
yeah, of course. Yeah, so it's like, you find like, I don't know, like a purpose for your life. So it can be someone or something, or maybe, I don't know, so people or like the reason. So if you can, for example, find a reason for your life, so of course that your life will be meaningful. Just let me say something about, because you said this word, you say beloved, okay? But beloved, id. So this should be pronounced as beloved.
Beloved,
Of,
beloved.
yeah, of course. It means
Ah,
someone who is loved.
beloved.
Of course,
I
beloved, of
have
course.
to pronounce it.
Of course, beloved, id, of course.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Beloved.
beloved. So, meaningful life is purposeful. Yeah, and so purposeful, fulfilling. So it's like, well, isolate. I isolate myself from unwanted conversation and hide my insecurities. So what do you think about this one? Of course, this isolation to keep yourself to yourself, not to talk to people, or sometimes not to share your opinion. Unfortunately, nowadays we have this isolation and we can see it among youngsters, like teenagers. So what do you think about this one? So of course, sometimes you want, again, it's wanted, so it's okay. But sometimes it's like, you are in the habit of being alone. Like, for example, teenagers spend lots of time, plenty of time playing games. just, close the doors, staying in their rooms and just playing or chatting or surfing. So, and actually, of course, it can have a sense and, feeling of isolation, and they don't tend to be with family to, I don't know, to communicate. So what do you think? Do you think it's concerning? Because, physical separation is okay. Okay, I have cold, so I need to isolate myself. So it's normal. But emotional or social separation can be dangerous. What do you think about this one?
Yes, I think isolating is have a negative effect, a negative size. Mm, Loneliness maybe have a both good side or good or not good.
Right.
Um, but isolating or being isolated
Yeah.
have a negative uh,
Yeah.
effect on. It's not good. It's not good for
Yeah.
someone. Yeah,
So it's like
to
when
be
you,
isolated,
yeah, to be or to feel.
to feel.
So, yeah, of course, if you cut off from your social interactions and relationships, so if you cut off from social interactions, of course, you feel isolated. Isolated. So isolation is noun, isolated is adjective, and isolate is verb. So sometimes it's good when you, I don't know, sometimes you isolate yourself from negative opinion, from judgment. So that's perfect. You don't want to listen, you don't want to hear just this. But sometimes it's like, you stop having relationship with people, and this one can cause and can lead like uh, depression and some negative effects. So isolate, isolation, isolated. Isolated is adjective, isolation is noun, and isolate is verb. And as you can see, to separate something from other things or to keep something separate. So it can be physical isolation, as I told you, like, when you have cold, and so you need to be isolated. Or no, it can be mental, emotional, that is, something different. Well, this one, bond. So a close connection. So how about this one? Could you read the sentence, please, Min?
Bond. A close connection joining two or more individuals. I have such a strong bond with my dog
Yeah.
that it follows me around the house all day. Bond, yep. Close connection. Yeah. I have a such I have such a strong
Yeah,
bond with my
of course.
dog. Yeah.
So,
Mm.
but bond, let me talk about it briefly. So in different contexts, because it depends on the context that you use, can have different meaning. So several meanings. So, just not this word, actually every word in English, so they can have different meaning in different contexts. So we are talking about emotional connection here. That is strong connection, or of course it can be relationship between people. So I want to ask you, we have actually emotional connection with people, strong connection with some people, but how we can build this actually strong connection? So how is it built, you think? How this strong connection is built? So what we need? how we can have a strong bond with people?
Yeah. To have a strong bond or strong connection with, I have to build a good relationship
Of course.
with them. Um, we share my feelings with them.
Very good.
And if they need my hand, I will give them my hand if they need. If they have um, difficulties, struggles, I will be.
You
Um,
will be there.
yeah,
You
I
will
will
be
be
there
there.
if they need you, of
I will
course.
be
You
there.
will be
Yeah.
there if they need you. Yeah. So it's like, as you said, sharing opinion and experiences or trust. For example,
Yes.
you and your husband, you have a husband-wife bond. You and your
Yeah.
mom, you have mother-child bond. So we have different actually bonds here. We have friendship bond, friendship with friends. We
Precious
have
friend.
mother-child, for example, you and your children, mother-child bond. You have husband-wife bond, so different, and it depends. But in all of them, actually, the base and the foundation is trust.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and the next one is take a toll. So, take a toll on someone or
Tegatose.
something. Yeah, can you read it, please?
Tegatose is cause harm or suffering. Day in a later on the time has taken a toll on my health and energies at work.
Yeah.
Yes, take a toll. Harm.
Actually, let me say something. It's like to cause harm, but when you have a negative or damage, damaging effect on someone or something over time. How, for example, stress, difficulties, hardship. So actually this one, for example, stress or I don't know, difficulty or hardship, all of them cause harm. So this means actually this is the meaning of taking a toll. So stress can take a toll on people, on your health. So that is really hard work sometimes maybe. So, the years, if you work the years for long time, hard work, so it can take a toll on your health. So something can take a toll on someone. As you can see, staying up late all the time has taken a toll on my health. Or stress can
Yes. Yes.
take a toll on your health. So that is really important. So it can have negative or damaging effect on you. Well, and this one, I prefer a life of solitude to living with someone
Solitude.
I hate. So, alone, solitude, being alone. And as we discussed at the beginning of the session, yeah, of course. It's like, it's
Mm.
better to be alone. Yeah. But this one, when we say solitude, actually, this, loneliness is a little bit different. Why? Because you choose it. This is wanted loneliness. Normally, it refers to wanted loneliness. It means I want it. I choose to be alone. So because of this, it can have some positive. For example, solitude can be peace. So because you choose it, you want to be alone. Sometimes you want to focus on yourself, on your life. So you choose it. So
Yes.
solitude is noun here, and it's loneliness, but like wanted by choice.
It's means loneliness,
Of
but
course,
we choose.
definitely, of
We choose
course.
the way.
Yeah, let me say,
Yeah.
solitude can be
Solitude.
loneliness by
Yes.
choice.
By choice. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Loneliness by choice. That can be positive. It's like, okay, I want to be alone. Why? Because, for example, I want to focus on my life. I want to focus on my goals. But sometimes can be negative if this one is again unwanted, but normally it refers to wanted. But yeah, it can be unwanted, and then it's like, a feeling of isolation. So a feeling of isolation, or I don't know, loneliness is, for example, sometimes I feel a sense of solitude. So sense of solitude means loneliness. So you feel it. So sometimes, yeah, sometimes I feel a sense of solitude.
Lonely. The situations of being alone with all other
Yeah,
people. I
just
prefer a life of
loneliness.
solitude to live with the own head. I prefer a
Loneliness,
life of solitude to live
isolation.
in.
Yeah. So you can have this feeling. You can prefer, like, you can, I don't know, have it, or you would prefer a life of. So how to use it? This is a noun that you can use that means loneliness or isolation. And I definitely agree with this. I prefer a life of solitude, being alone, to living with someone I hate. That's really good.
Yes.
Well, okay, so it's your turn if you want to use them.
Yeah. And what is
Grace?
your meaningful gift?
Ah, let me say something. Every year, so especially my daughter, and actually Mother's and Mother's Day, draw me something. Actually, she
Mm-hmm.
makes something to me, like, it's drawing. And then she writes, Mommy, love you. And
Mm-hmm.
you know how meaningful is,
Yes.
and I have them. Every drawing that, every day, of course, she has a new one, and I collect them. And they are really meaningful. So it's like, as we just, talk, it's not about money, like, I didn't buy like expensive gift, but
Yes.
what she makes,
Yeah.
by little hand, it's really meaningful to me. And of
Yes.
course, having my daughter is a meaningful gift in my life. I think the most important one,
Yes.
she herself.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Number two, isolate.
of course.
Um, there are many teenagers being isolated or feel there are many um, teenagers um, to um, mm, living in isolated
So
or choosing um, choosing isolated way to
no, don't translate
maybe
it.
they feel maybe they feel isolated.
Yeah, this one is perfect. So don't try to translate because, sometimes you feel like that you make a sentence in your mind and then you want to translate. No, it doesn't work. That was perfect. Most of
Yes,
teenagers feel isolated and they want to be isolated and they isolate themselves from family and friends. So different ways that you can use it.
yes.
And bond.
Um, Bond is a close connection, trying two or more individuals.
Of course, strong
Mm-hmm.
connection.
Yeah. Mm, my I my ha my mom and my dad um have a bond, strong bond
Yeah,
connection, and I learned much about them.
yeah, that's really good. So you learned. And so because your mom and dad have a strong wife-husband bond, so you've seen and you've learned. So that's perfect.
Yes.
That's really good.
I asked my mom, can you go to Ho Chi Minh City with me? But he said that, how is your dad? Uh, um, may I ask him to go with me?
Oh, it's so perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Every time they go together. They,
That's really
they,
good.
they will. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really perfect having people, especially, because children see, and you know exactly about you, because you have a good relationship, strong actual relationship with your husband, then in future, your children will have the same. So that's perfect, I think. Maybe now your actually life, that is peaceful life, that is really good life, having good relationship and with people who you like. That's really good because actually you have your mom and dad, your
Yeah.
like role models, of course, and you
Mhm,
learned. That's really good.
mhm, mhm.
It's a chance.
Yeah. I go to supermarket to get the grocery only. My I asked my mom go with me, but she tell me, can I ask can I ask your daddy go with us? Or when
Oh, that's
I
really
yeah
good.
when I asked her, how daddy, what do you want to have breakfast? What do you want
Yeah.
uh, to have for breakfast? He said, oh, I can eat anything. You can ask your mom first. Huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, respectful relationship. That's really good. I admire. So I think this is the secret of a successful and long marriage. This respect, this love, and that's really good. Ah, that's so
Mhm.
cute. It's so cute. Yeah, after
Yes.
many
But
years.
now my daddy is 80 and my mom is more than 70, maybe about 72. And now
Yeah,
my daddy is 80, 80.
yeah. And how many years they've been married?
Um, 48,
Wow,
49.
it's
Yes,
perfect.
years.
Wow, it's a long time. But that's really good. Yeah, I really enjoy, so like, I really enjoy and I really like seeing people who are in successful relationships, and especially old people. So I think it's perfect. Because
yes,
when youth, when you are young, it's normal to have some
yes,
conflicts. Yeah, like I
yes,
don't know, some problems, issue, like I don't know,
yes.
difficulties. But when you get old, it's really important to have a really stable connection, and not to worry about any concerns, and that's really good. So you need to talk to your parents to ask about, I don't know, maybe the secrets, how they could. What is the secret of a happy marriage?
Mm.
What do you think? So you need to ask your mom.
Yes.
Of course. So you need to ask your mom about their secret. What is the secret and this magic of a happy marriage after these actual long time, like, long years?
Um, I think the secret is my daddy always respect my mom, and he always ask my mom to choose to choose first, and
Oh,
she
that's
follows. She just follow. And after when my mom's need to have a decision, need to decide something. She always asks my daddy.
yeah, that's really
Yes, she didn't decide it alone. She asked him. Yeah, yes.
they
Secret
share
is
everything.
respect. Secret is that they respect together each other,
Each other, of course.
each
That's
other.
really good, of course. Yeah, so this is the secret.
Okay.
Well, and take a
Number
toll.
4, take a
Yeah,
toll. Take a toll. Stress. Mm, uh, drink ice or cold water is um,
can take a
mm,
toll.
can
Cold
take a toll
water, yeah.
on my throat. On my throat. Drinking cold water will take a toll for my health.
On first,
Uh,
actually, when we say take a toll, something on someone.
uh,
So cold water, okay. Take a toll, for example,
take a
on
toll
your health, of course.
on my health. Yes, right. Um, drinking cold water
Yeah, of
take
course.
the toll
Yeah, take a toll.
on
So
on
cold
my
water can
health.
take a toll on your health.
On my health. Yes. Um using um cell phone while driving
Of course.
can take a toll on your
Of
safety.
course. Yeah, of course. Your, yeah. Safety, you mean
Your yes, your
how? Your immune system, you mean, or safety? I couldn't get what you mean. Because
um
using your phone,
using phone while you are driving.
of course, while driving, I didn't hear that. Yeah, while
Yes,
driving, of course.
while you're driving,
Yeah, of course.
take a toll
Yeah, of
on
course.
um,
Put you in
your
danger,
safety.
of course.
Yeah, will take a toll
On your health, for
on
example.
your
It's like,
health. Mm.
yeah, yeah, of course, using phone can take it because, let me say something. Uh, it's better to, yeah, you can say it puts you in danger. So, but
Yes.
can take
Take
a
a
toll
toll.
is like something directly. You know what I mean?
Directly.
For example, stress directly, or
Yes.
for example, drinking water directly affect you. But you know, when you
Mm-hmm.
say driving and using your, it's like maybe you can say using phone for a long time, and for example, having your cell
Mm.
phone behind your bed can take a toll on your mental health, for example. This one
Yes.
is better, you know, because it directly affects your health. Yeah,
Yes. Using phone for a long time takes a toll on my eyes.
of course, definitely, yes. Yeah. And the next one, that is solitude.
Solitude. Solitude. Solitude. Solitude. Loneliness. Mm, mm, Loneliness by choice. How can I make a sentence with this? Solitude.
Yeah, solitude.
Uh, um, I prefer to um, I prefer to state in lonely.
No.
Um,
Okay, no, it's not. No, I would prefer to stay alone is okay. Okay.
mm,
Or I would prefer solitude is okay. You don't need to say stay in solitude. So I would
mhm,
prefer solitude, or for example, I would rather solitude than being with some toxic people.
yes,
Yeah.
I uh, I prefer uh, to live. I prefer to be solitude.
So you don't need to say, let me say, for solitude, you would prefer solitude. You would
Um,
prefer loneliness,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because this is noun. Yeah, I
Mhm.
would prefer solitude. Yeah, than be with
I
people.
prefer I prefer solitude. I
Of
prefer
course.
solitude.
Yeah.
Then um, mm, then having conflict with my husband.
Yeah. This one is good, of course. And that was really good. So because, some people, really, some people actually seek solitude. Why? Because they think that this actually solitude offers an opportunity to recharge yourself emotionally, for example, to think about your goals, to be alone, and to have time for yourself. So some people would prefer, they seek solitude because it offers an opportunity of time for yourself to recharge your mind, your hope. So it's not bad. Sometimes it's good. So some people want it, some people don't want it, but actually, like they suffer. Well, so some people
Some people
seek,
choose solitude.
of course, they seek
They see.
solitude. They
Yeah.
won't, of course. And why? Because they feel like, it offers an opportunity to recharge.
To recharge themselves.
Of course, though with this recharge can be emotionally or mentally or sometimes physically. I don't know, like different reasons. Well, so have you watched this film animation Up? It's about
Uh,
Up. So it's
The
about,
tree,
yeah, this
the
animation is
tree.
about an old man,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, whose wife actually is dead, and now he is really alone. He feel isolated, alone, and now he decides to fly with his house. So he uses with thousands of balloons to fly with his house. That is perfect animation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good. So of course, if you're into animation and cartoon, I definitely recommend. So it's like perfect. It's really meaningful about
Mm-hmm.
loneliness. So
Yeah.
let me see if I can show you just one part of it, just one moment. If I can, okay. This one. Let me stop. Okay. Maybe.
Favor and take this. I'll meet you at the van in just a minute.
Good morning, Mr. Fredrickson. You ready to go?
Ready as I'll ever be. But you do me a favor and take this. I'll meet you at the van in just a minute. I want to say one last goodbye to the old place.
Sure. Take all the time you need, sir.
That's typical. He's probably going to the bathroom for the 80th time.
You'd think he'd take better care of his house.
Mm-hmm.
So long, boys! I'll send you a postcard from Paradise Falls.
Actually, this,
Mm-hmm.
was what his wife wanted when she was alive. So they wanted to actually travel together somewhere, but unfortunately, so they couldn't. And of course, they have no kids. So after his wife, he decides to do this, to actually travel with her, because, this is, how you feel like that you belong to a place with your wife, and this is a really strong bond. So you decide to go with your house. So that's perfect animation. But let me show you something else. So you need to watch it. So as of this, let me show you something else that is, I think is not bad. Well, it's a good one. Let's watch about loneliness. So one moment. So if you have free time, watch it.
Yes, I will. Flying house up.
Yeah, up. Let me find this video. Okay, so I think this one is loneliness. Okay, I think this one.
The wheel of teach, eat.
Hi, I'm Dr. B. I'm a medical doctor and I make medical education videos. Did you know that social isolation can kill you? Or it can make you sick? It can change your brain, and if you have underlying mental health disorders, social isolation can make these worse. That's what today's video is about. Social isolation includes being lonely, meaning you don't get as much of or the kind of social interaction you would like. It also includes low levels of social support, either real or just your perception. This both seems to matter. Having no social network, few or poor quality friends, and even living alone are social.
And do you need subtitle? Do you need subtitle?
I'm trying to listen.
If you need, I can,
Okay.
okay, turn it on so you can.
Isolation. There is good and long-standing research evidence that shows social isolation is a risk factor for increased sickness and death. In short, loneliness kills people. For instance, research shows that loneliness and poor social support are associated with death rates similar to some very well-established risk factors such as obesity, physical inactivity, and even smoking. And these predict heart disease, stroke, and worsening blood pressure, and even chronic pain. In addition, things like depression, suicide, and dementia are increased in the setting of social isolation. So, for an individual, being socially isolated increases the risk of dying in the next 10 years by about 25%. If you're a couple, the death of your spouse increases your own chance of dying in the immediate future by up to 18%. Now, we think a key underlying reason for these effects is that loneliness impairs the immune system and reduces resistance to disease and infections. One of the ways the immune system is really hurt is by chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation we know can cause or contribute to multiple diseases like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, liver disease, autoimmune and nerve diseases. And we know that those who are more socially integrated have low levels of inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, and that people with fewer contacts in their social network have elevated serum markers like fibrinogen, which are a signal of poor health and inflammation. In addition to these inflammatory markers, social isolation increases basal cortisol levels. This puts your body in a constant state of stress, and this constant state of stress is known to increase chronic inflammation, diabetes, affect your blood vessel and your heart. Now, in contrast, those with strong social bonds and less social isolation have an increased release of the body's natural killer cells, one of the white blood cells of the immune system whose core function is to destroy harmful bacteria and viruses. So how does social isolation change your brain? Well, social isolation can change either the structure of the brain and the nerves or how the nerves work. Social isolation causes reduced synaptic plasticity. It also decreases new nerve cell formation in important areas of the brain like the hippocampus, the prefrontal cortex, and the amygdala. These areas are important for memory, motivation, time management, and other executive functions. Now, in addition to structural changes in the brain, social isolation is thought to change the cellular communication. It changes the amount of neurotransmitters, which are those substances that help nerves talk to each other. It specifically reduces serotonin and dopamine in the brain. This is important because these neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine, are very important in many mental health disorders, including addiction to drugs, alcohol, compulsive gambling behaviors, and they're associated with psychosis, including schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. There is especially strong evidence that social isolation affects depression. Poor or perceived social support is associated with poorer outcomes, with more severe depression symptoms, poor recovery from depression symptoms, and overall decreased function of somebody with depression. That's social isolation. Thanks for watching. For more educational videos, watch this one on it.
Well, Of course, you don't need to learn all this, words and phrases about, it's like, some of them are like, medical phrases, so you don't need to learn, but let me share the board, then we're going to talk about it. Okay. Well, so according to the video, so how can loneliness affect a person's health? So just, I want to actually briefly give me a brief summary about what you watched just now. So how can it affect our health?
In the video, the loneliness can affect a personal health, like heart disease, stroke, or heart, or the brain.
Yeah.
The brain, and even they kill themselves, they suicide.
Or suicide, of course, yes. Unfortunately, high level of depression can, can lead to, of course, to suicide. That is really dangerous. And obesity. So maybe most of people who we can in the street, obese people are too fat, so they can't control. It's not something about what they eat. It's something mental. So they can't control. They have no control, and it's it comes from the feeling of loneliness. So it's depression, deep depression.
Yes.
And let's talk about number 2. Now, in what ways can we towards other people be influenced by loneliness? So if you have a positive, weird opinion about other people, or negative, how do you think?
In what way can you view toward other people? Be influenced by loneliness?
Yeah, of course.
So
first,
maybe they have a very bad problem with their health. They have problem. Their health have problem. I think that I recognize the people who are in loneliness. They don't want to talk.
Yeah.
They feel lonely. They don't want to talk to or share them with others. Stay in the room only.
Yeah. It's like, let's talk about it. So it's like, when you feel lonely and, you feel like maybe you need people. So actually it can be like a desire. So it's like you want to be with people, you want to actually make connection, make friends. So it can directly affect your relationships. So because it's like, you want to find, because you feel lonely, you need someone. For example, I don't know, you really want to, you're eager to connect with others. You really want to form bonds, to have strong relationships, okay? And unfortunately, sometimes because you need, so you actually start and you make, I don't know, like a build relationship with people who aren't, good choices or best fit for you. So it can be emotionally, I don't know, socially, family. So this can be dangerous. So you feel lonely, so you need to be in relationship with someone. So, okay, no matter who, just someone. And if this person is not the best fit, if this person is not the best fit for you, like, you know, socially, mentally, I don't know. So it's like in different aspects, it can be dangerous. So, and you know, we have another actually important, it's not from widow, but we have it, that is really important. On one hand, you want to be with people. Actually, on the other hand, you start to, I don't know, be like, you know, to idealize other. So what is that? It's like, for example, it can affect your relationship. So I don't know, you feel like, I don't know, a temporary sense of comfort. And sometimes it can create an, I don't know, unrealistic expectation. So sometimes you are not happy. You are not, I don't know, satisfied with your relationship. So, for example, you are lonely, and just tell me if you agree or no. You are lonely, and you feel like that your partner, your husband, your friend is the answer to all your problems. But actually, they are not. So sometimes you become disappointed because, of course, it's not possible. So what do you think? That you think, you know, this actually, I don't know, this like idealization that, you know, you feel like that, okay, my partner, my husband is the answer to all my problems. So do you think it can cause issues, and how?
Hmm. I don't know.
Yeah. So it can be frustrating, don't you, for that person. For example, for your husband, you all the time, so it's like you rely on your husband. Of course, it's perfect, but he can't be solution for every problem. Of course, he can. So maybe he can get frustrated. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Um.
Now, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
And you continue, please.
No, I was just, you know, talking about this one. That is, it can cause frustration. And now, let me ask you another question that is related to. Do you think
Mm.
to get rid of this feeling of loneliness, of isolation, we need to get help, or no? We can do it, I don't know, by ourselves.
Um. I think it's better. I can find the way to escape the loneliness by myself.
But how?
Um, mm, Maybe I have to go out to talk to someone, and I open my heart to share my feelings. Um, I think it's hard. It's very hard for someone to help me uh, to escape the loneliness. But
Uh,
myself, I, I think myself, himself, herself,
yeah,
they have to do it, or the psychology, or the profession, the uh, professional, someone is good
experts.
in
You
psychology,
mean
experts. Yeah,
experts, of course.
I
You need to get
think,
help from
yeah,
experts, of course.
I
And
think they need an expert. I,
yeah,
I think it's hard to have someone. Maybe experts can.
of
Maybe
course.
the experts can. I
Yeah,
can take them to the experts, and they share all the things, and the experts can help.
yeah, of course. Yeah, it's like, sometimes you can't talk to people around you, maybe your family or friends freely. And I don't know, it's like, and you need someone like an expert to get help, to talk to confide in, and of course, to ask for a solution. And now, let me ask another question. If you ever had any negative opinion about people around you, like, about someone or some people, and you couldn't control it.
Have a negative
Yeah,
about someone.
yeah, first thing.
Yes, sometimes I have a negative with my mom-in-law, for example.
Yeah,
Um, but I have myself. Um, I have to um, think positive about her.
positive.
Yes, and I teach myself. I teach
Ah,
myself. Yeah.
good. You
Have yeah.
thinking
Um.
positively. How do you think? So, for example, you have some negative thoughts, like, and you're not happy with this actually situation. So, how do you find something to actually make you feel positive? Because it's really difficult.
hmm, I think I see and I look on her good side.
Very good.
Don't care much about the bad side.
Very.
Um, and I have a grateful. I have a I I have a grateful thoughts about her.
Very good. So it's like, you try to
Mm,
bold her positive points,
mm-hmm.
then they can cover the negative thoughts. So that's really
Yes.
good. So of course, it's really good actually method. Well, and let's talk about these questions. What are, because we actually haven't talked about the causes of loneliness, but what are the causes of loneliness? So there are some suggested answers. You can get help or you can make your own.
What are the causes of loneliness?
Yeah, of course. What are the causes of lonely? Why people become lonely?
Um, it's difficult to them to make friends.
Hmm.
Mm, they don't want to. They don't have a good skill in making friends.
Yeah,
Um, maybe they change a lot of school many
yeah,
times in their life, cause loneliness. Like like the teenager, my children. Yes.
yeah,
Um, yeah, move to a new place to live.
yeah. And
Um,
what do you think about, for example, at my age, it's like, we don't tend to make friends as before. So, for example, when I was younger, I don't know, when I was teenage, or I like, for example, I don't know, younger than now. So I actually like, I really wanted to make friends and I easily did it. Really, I did it. But now I can't or I don't want. First, what is the reason that actually, do you think aging can affect our like choices? So, for example, when we get older, we tend to become lonely, or no, you feel like that no, we need more friends, socializing.
in my experience, I think when I get older, I need more relationship with others.
So,
Um, I try into many groups in the church, in the club, yeah, in
Yeah.
other I try to in many groups
Yeah.
to have a friends, to
Oh,
have
that's
a more of friends, to make my life colorful, meaningful.
that's really good. Yeah, it's really good. If you can, it's really good. And what are the consequences of loneliness? So,
Yeah.
increase the risk of an early death, really? Do you agree?
So let me touch my
Of course.
laptop. It's not good for health. And firstly, loneliness is not good for health. And because we lack of happiness, um, we uh, we have a mental health. We may have a physical and mental health.
Yeah.
Um,
And tend to forget things or how to do
yes,
things. So, wow, of course. Maybe Alzheimer.
yes, as
Yeah, of course.
Alzheimer,
Of course.
Alzheimer.
And unhealthy behaviors don't have anyone to encourage you eat more of course. So eat more fast food, exercise less, sleep less, and refuse go to doctor. So
Yes,
unfortunately,
it's may have a problem with the sleeping.
yeah, lack of, yeah, of course, enough
Sleeping
sleep.
problem. Yeah, sleeping problem. Uh, I think we need friends, a lot of friends, as many as friends
Very good.
as we can. We can make a more relationship with friends.
Yeah, of course.
Even when we young or even when we get old,
Of course.
we
We
need
need to
friends
enlarge, of course, our
in love,
friend circle. It's like,
friendship.
friend circle. Yeah, of course, maybe we have a small one and we need to enlarge it. It means, more people can be included in this circle. So you have more connections, you have more relationships. So of course, and you feel less lonely.
Yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
super.
we have this one. Actually, I like this sentence. What can you do to overcome loneliness? Recognize that you have. So because most of people like ignore it. No, I'm okay. No, it's okay. No, I'm not alone. So if we accept, so don't you think that if we accept our problem, we can deal with and we can solve it better and easier?
Yes, yes, I think so. When we recognize it's a problem, we have a solution. We
Yeah,
find the solution for that issue. But
yeah,
when we don't think it's a problem,
yeah,
um,
of course.
if we think it's okay, we have nothing change.
Yeah,
There's nothing change, and you don't want to change.
yeah, of course. So if you don't accept of it means you don't like to change and you don't want it. And maybe you can't. And of course,
I
as we
think
said,
we always look for the professional help.
of course,
Yeah,
of course.
therapist.
Yeah, of course. Sometimes we
Around me,
can't.
there have a problem. I
Uh,
think when I learned this lesson, and I think someone around me, and I recognize. that
Ah,
there are some of them around me.
ah,
Yes, and maybe someone they recognize them. That is their problem. But
ah,
some days they don't recognize.
ah. So you know someone who suffers, yeah, who
Yes,
suffers from loneliness, yeah, of course, and maybe they need help.
yes.
So,
Let me tell you about my aunt.
of course.
She lives um she lives in my building. Um, I'm living in the seventh floor, and
Ah,
she's staying in the fourth floor.
on the third
And
of,
she's when she meet me and or when she call me, she always talked about the past.
ah,
Uh, she um just judgment to make a drastic. She says something bad about her
criticize you, man?
friends. Criticize. Yeah,
Ah,
she's always criticize her relative, her brother, sister, her siblings, and she tell me about the past when they are was they when they were the children, maybe the 40 years ago. She
oh,
remember all things, and she
such a good
criticized.
memory.
Yeah, she has a good memory, and but she tell me only the best negative things about siblings.
Ah,
Yeah, and now when she said that she need to decorate my house for Christmas.
ah,
She asked me that um, let her decorate it for me.
ah,
I said okay. She brought a lot of things to my
yeah.
house to decorate flower. Uh, yeah, by paper of
Yeah, of
real flowers.
course.
But when you see, she spent 2 days to decorate my house. But when everyone come to see my house, it's like a mess.
Oh,
Yeah, because she have a problem with maybe she's have problem. She has a mental health, I think.
of
Uh,
course.
so everything uh, she think is okay, it's beautiful, but I don't think so. It's
Yeah,
like it's too much flower, too much colors, for example. Yeah,
yeah, of course.
yeah,
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 God, it's like, yeah, talking behind others people. So it's like, because criticizing is something different. It's like, I directly criticize you. So I say, okay, you are doing this, you're doing this. So I'm talking to you, but sometimes I talk behind your back. So this is not really good. So I don't know, I phone my sister and start talking behind my other sister's back, like, she is this, she did this, like, it's not really. And as you said, it's something like mental. So maybe they need, it comes from
yeah.
depression. Yeah, of course, maybe it comes from depression.
I stayed. Yes.
Yeah, actually she wanted to help you by, I
She.
oh,
I have her to maybe I think she have a mental health, and
uh,
um, I let her decorate my house to help her
Yeah,
to
you did the best
mm,
actually. So she
yeah.
brought lights, ornaments to help you, but she couldn't. So of course she
And
couldn't.
I listen. I stayed maybe 2 hours or more to listen and listen and listen. Just listen,
I know.
listen to her. Yes. And it's strange that it's a normal that she talked about their sibling,
Uh,
about her sibling. Sibling is, I think we have a very good relation with siblings
of
because
course.
they are a sister and brother, but she have a problem with them.
And she
Yeah.
can't talk directly. No?
Yes. Yes. No. Maybe no. She said that she doesn't want them come to her house to play or to talk.
Oh,
No.
so sad. But of course you can't do anything about it. So maybe she needs.
Sometimes she recognizes that is her problem.
Oh,
He she recognized that she has a mental health and
oh,
she has an older honor daughter for
oh.
person. Yeah.
It's really good. So if she knows, so that's really good. So at least she can get help. But if she ignore it and I don't know, like refuse accepting, so it's like maybe this can be dangerous. But of
She
course you
she
kids do it.
is very easy to get angry.
Ah,
If she
so she
said that all the
easily
flower,
loses her temper.
yeah, lose temper. If you say that, oh, I don't like much the way you make to decorate, for example, you say something like that, or she will, um, I don't know, maybe she will tears out anything.
Oh, every small, yeah, I got it. So maybe everything that are very small, not really important, can affect her feeling a lot,
Yes,
emotion. So
yes,
start crying and, sometimes loses her temper and become angry and, to be more like, too much reactive. Like,
yes,
so, of course. So, but there is nothing that you can do. So she needs an expert. So it's like, maybe a therapist, a good therapist that you can find for her to talk to. So maybe you can look for a
yes,
good therapist for her to talk to feel better. Just this because you can't do anything. It's not actually there is nothing that you can do. You only can
yeah,
listen. Just this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Time's up.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So, it's too fast. Yeah, time's up, and thank you so much. It was a really good time with you,
Yes,
and
thank
have a
you.
good time. You're welcome. Goodbye.
Thank you.
You're
See
welcome.
you maybe
Goodbye.
tomorrow.
Of course, tomorrow. Yeah,
Oh
right?
no, tomorrow I cannot because
Okay.
I take my daughter to have a test.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Uh,
So let
she
me
has an
write.
important
Yeah.
test.
Of course, yes. So
Okay, maybe I think I can study tomorrow. Okay.
you can or you can't.
Yeah, I can arrange the time to study
Okay.
with you.
So it's your
Okay.
choice. But if for any reason, if you couldn't, so just just let me know, and that's okay. No problem at all.
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. Have a great
Goodbye.
day. Goodbye. Bye
Happy
bye.
New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you. Goodbye. Goodbye.